This is our general stretch for the psoas muscle. The psoas is part of the hip flexor complex. You have the psoas that comes from either side of the spine in the lumbar area that comes down in front of the hip, down the thigh, into the middle part of the femur here. So that's going to be a big role in regards to tension in the front part of the pelvis. It's part of the pelvic floor, very important exercise, very important muscle. So go ahead and take your left foot and step forward. This is an important setup position for the psoas muscle. So we're starting with the pelvis over this knee. We don't want to feel like we're losing our balance during the exercise. So go ahead and walk this foot out. So we want to be a little wider than the pelvis with our foot, and then we want to be a little bit more forward of the knee. So go ahead and walk that foot a little bit forward. Okay, so that's going to be our starting position. So she's going to stay back over that knee, hands on the front and back of your pelvis. And I want you just to go ahead and tuck the tail under and then release that. Tail back, tail under, tail back. Now when you tuck under, you feel the tension in the front of the right hip right now. Okay, so go ahead and come back into a neutral pelvis. Pivot on this down knee to slide your foot out as wide as you can. Okay, so whatever your mobility is, you put that foot out there, try to get that rotation in there. Now we're going to tuck the tail as much as we can. I'm going to have her lean forward a little bit in this posture to get her shoulders in front of the pelvis. I'm going to have her tuck the tail even more to try to get that tension really deep in front of that hip. Okay. Once we find that position, she can take this front arm or the left arm and rest it on her thigh, rest on your forearm. That's going to bring the torso a little bit forward. So make sure that we really tuck that tail a little bit more because we might lose a little bit of tension. Now she can take her right arm, reach it forward with that palm facing forward. And now we just want to migrate forward into the stretch to open up the front side of this right hip a little bit more. So go ahead and sit into that front foot a little bit more without sagging the pelvis or arching the lower back. We want to keep this tucked position of the pelvis. Chin is going to stay down to be long through the body. It's like we want our torso to follow the angle of our leg. And that arm is going to reach. It's like we want to separate between both knees. This front knee is going to reach forward. The down knee is going to reach down and back. We're going to keep tucking. We can turn our belt buckle a little bit to the open side away from our front knee. We want to keep that front knee wide. She's going to elongate between the crown of the head and the knee on the floor. She's going to reach that palm forward away from this down knee. We want to create all of this tension that's reaching away from this right hip. She's going to continue to breathe. 30 seconds, 3 times on each side. We can alternate right and left side, and she can repeat this on the other side, no problem. When we get out of the exercise, go ahead and slowly bring that arm down. We can shift back, and we're going to relax. And that's going to be our general position for our psoas.